Hello, OJ here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the practical example of me playing the time spam meta, following my advice from my own strategy guide that I uploaded a few days ago. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I know it's like half an hour long, but the most important things I basically go over in the first few minutes, and then I kind of just show you some examples of a board setup that you can use to win more games, and how the early runs should be played out. Now, if you guys couldn't follow along that well in the video, I told you guys I will upload another practical video, which is going to be this one. So I'll be taking you guys with me into my battle games and applying my own tips so you guys can see just how and why I do what I do. Now, my rank has dropped a lot, but I have been testing out a lot of other decks, so that is a reason why, and I'm obviously trying to get back up there now. So let me just quickly check out the leaderboards. I think I'm like top 20 still or something, so it's okay. Top 10, and we only have to get to like 2100, so that's not too hard. We've been there before, and let's get into it. That was a quick find. Okay, so we've got our first opponent. He is running the same deck as me, so pretty obvious. Now I will just be... hang on, I gotta... okay. Alright, let's go. So we're gonna be starting... we have no time, so I want an aggressive start. I'm gonna assume he's gonna be placing a dice in here or here. And even if he's placing one here, we could now go for a berserker just to save that, but I will end up going for a time now just to not be left too far behind. Okay, perfect. So he placed them way too aggressive. That means they cannot reach the center of the map, which means that now we basically play around these dice. So we never have to go into this corner, and we have our corner here, and now he's basically, well, he's in a really bad spot now because obviously he has to come up to my corner now. So we're going to place down more time in the corner and try and win against this 1, 2, 3 versus 3. So we've already beat the first dice, and while his dice is attacking my time, we have plenty of time to attack his dice. So easy win. Again, he started placing a time dice in the corner, so we're going to keep going and place down more time. Now at some point he'll have to place a judgment down because he's not going to win this. At least I don't think he is. And now let's see. So we don't get anything. We're just going to use more berserker dice. They're pretty strong early game, and we want to go for a 5-0, right? Like, we don't want to drag out this game too long. We want to end it like it's like 3 versus 1 time. So we have a huge lead in DPS on all our dice. And honestly, we're just gonna go wrap this up with berserker dice. There's no need to do anything else. Maybe a sword dice if I can find a good position for it, but definitely no judgment or anything. So this is off limits. This is off limits. Well, apart from this one. So let's go place another one in here, and a sword dice, which we'll place in here. Sadly, I don't really want to be placing... I'm gonna place this in here because this nobody can get to this, and I do want to also add more damage. So it's now 4 time versus 4 time, so he has evened out the playing field a lot. I still think that I have a much bigger lead because of the way that the dice are centered around the map, and these 2 dice don't do anything right now, whereas all my carry dice can attack his. So this is pretty much free at this point. I do want to add more time now. We'll add the sword in here so it can attack both his sword and another time. Perfect. We can put that in here, or in here, in here, in here, or in here. It doesn't really matter. So I will be... it doesn't really matter at all. Right, that should be it. And we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he added 1 more time, although it should not be enough to win the game. There you go. GG. 5-0. That is all we want. We don't have to set up the board. Don't have to make it look pretty. We don't need a fire dice if we're just gonna go for the early game and wrap up the game. Claim our 20 points. Now let's get into the next one. And we found another dicer. Now, a Mighty Wind user, so no judgment. So he has a lot stronger early game. So now the thing is, okay, you have to understand, if I put 2 dice in here, right, before I put like a dice in here and dice in there, and if he had 2 dice in here, obviously they'd both beat this one. And that's fine, but it's unlikely, right? Because by putting dice in here, my sword will get value. Now, Mighty Wind will win the early game for sure. So there's not much you can do. Now, I like to put dice into corners. Oh, unlucky, I only get fire dice. So what we're going to do is we're going to get, there's a few corners that can hit the whole map. And that's super important to know because that way Mighty Wind doesn't get the range advantage on you. So I like to keep a 2 gap distance so his sword cannot attack both my fire dice. So keep a 2 gap distance between your fire dice and also, yeah. So this is kind of rough. I have a really bad start. No berserkers, and I have to now place this. Now I'm gonna place this in, oh no, this dice doesn't do anything right now, so we can ignore this. So we're gonna be placing it in here, and obviously whenever we can, grab another one of those. Now he cannot place his sword in there, so now we can place them 1 apart, which is absolutely okay. Oh, this is rough. Okay, at least we win this. But we're gonna lose all these dice, so it doesn't matter. Yep, if he beat this Mighty Wind, that would have been great. Although right now, it is what it is. No berserker yet. Super unfortunate from me. This is bad. Okay. Let's force him to place a sword on the outside by doing this. And just grab another time in here. Actually, we can put time in here. There's no downside to that. But now I can make him focus the time first, which means this guy gets more time at being alive. Okay. This is looking really, really bad right now, because now this fire dice doesn't do that much for us. Okay. Yep. That's another L, and that's okay. We can't, like, again, Mighty Wind early game, like RNG and then Mighty Wind, they both contribute a lot. Now, I will add a sword in here, because I do get a lot of value from this. We're going to be adding, not 2 times in here, I guess. So, yep. Wow. Okay, well, we have to start winning soon. He's not putting down any time dice. He wants to ramp up the lead that he got, which is smart. He'll win this round as well, purely because I cannot reach half of his dice. And now we have to win these rounds. Otherwise we have a big problem. But again, there's nothing you can do. It's still RNG at the end of the day, where you get dice. Now I will be putting a sword in here to focus these 2 faster. I will also, oh no, I put a dice into his range, so that was a mistake on my part. But I have 1 more dice to place. We're obviously placing this one. Now I have to see where I want this, and I think we're just going to add it in here because we need to protect these now, and I cannot get another sword dice, so it is what it is. Finally, this corner is now protected, and now we have to hope. Okay, so this is really good from him. That berserker dice was a smart move. And we lost the game. So that's how easy it is. I don't think, did I have anything attacking this dice? I didn't say that, but I'm pretty sure that's just, you know, that's part of the game. You cannot beat them all, especially if you get unlucky round after round. So even if you predict his dice, if I haven't got a single berserker dice in the first 3 rounds, my early game goes out the window. So, unfortunate. I had like 20 fire dice on the board. Great. But, again, yeah, all I wanted was a few berserkers. Now, if I don't get those, you just take an L. That's how it goes. Let's keep going to the next one. And like I said, so the first round, like you saw, every single dice of mine had like an opponent, right? It was attacking somebody, but his berserker dice didn't attack anyone the first 3 or 4 rounds, yet he always won the rounds. And this is because of Mighty Wind's range, also because of, you know, berserkers just straight up beating fire in a 1v1, and there was many 1v1s of berserkers and fires being placed around, and A lot of factors went into that. I needed to get berserkers to protect against certain parts of the map, and I only got fire dice, so we took those and tried to make something happen. It's not always possible. And we are in another game. Now let's see, his deck is the same as mine. Perfect. Okay, how do we start? We have a sword and fire. Two things we do not want to see when we start. I want either time or berserker. Anyway, we will be taking a fire then somewhere. We will play a bit more aggressive this round, so again, we'll take our dice with us. Perfect, a berserker, so this is a really nice start for me. Let's add that in here, and that's really good. I mean, it's kind of the same for both of us, I guess, so we might lose this because his berserker will be the one focusing us. Okay, but it's okay. That's fine. So, and now obviously I do want to keep up with this. I want my time out of here, otherwise his fire will get passive damage on our time dice. I don't want that. I also do not want this, but we have it now, so let's see. Okay, and we get another time dice. Perfect. Now, that is very interesting. So, do not do this. Okay, this makes no sense for a lot of reasons. First of all, you're losing pips that actually matter on the board, and it's so easy to just now play against it, you know? So, in my opinion, not a good move. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this game up. An easy 5-0, I think. There you go. He will beat him, and he will beat him. Perfect. Now I want to get a bit more. I can't do that. We'll do this. And I also want this. So why do I do that? So now if I put this as here, he would get splash damage on all three. And if I put them here, it'll only happen on one. Plus now it's a possible tank. So if you can attack my berserker, I'd be much happier about that. Okay. That's an easy win. Yeah, I don't really know how he'd win that if he pips up his judgment anyway. So interesting. But nonetheless, we'll go for this. We're gonna wrap it up now. So, putting a sword in here, a fire in there, just to attack this further. Okay, he did do that. Very interesting. I thought he was not gonna pip it up. Oh, he didn't even get the final kill, so... Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Anyway, good game. And finally, somebody with a bit of a higher rank now. Oh, this is interesting. So he doesn't go for Judgment, he goes for Azure Dragon. Now the thing with Azure Dragon is it only works in the later rounds, so you are forced to kind of hope for your time advantage. Now, I wanted to go for a more defensive route against Azure Dragon, and the game said, nope, you get a Judgment and a sword, so we'll be using that sword, sadly in the open, doing nothing. Now you know how much I dislike the start, and there you go. That's the reason why this start is absolute dog shit. But where else are you gonna put a sword? You know, if you get a draw like that, you don't have a choice. You just have to play defensive with your sword, because you can't put on a random Judgment. That sword is still gonna do more than a random Judgment. Okay, perfect. So I do want to split up his attacks a little bit, so I might have to add something in here. And also I will be adding a fire to attack this, and let's add another berserker. So no time, so we have to kind of go for the earlier win here. And because we didn't get a time dice, we now have a time disadvantage. And what this means is we might have to consider pipping up in the next few rounds. Okay, we could start going for a Judgment as well. Do I like that? We have a really good sword opening with 3 dice, so I might take that instead. we're going to add another... I want to add a time in here just so that we create more pressure around this corner of the map, and also this dice can now attack our time first, which would put him off the berserker. Wow, that's crazy. So he got 3 time dice. Okay, we have to... Perfect. See, now he's focusing our sword, which means our berserker can now attack him, and now he's even attacking our time, which is exactly what I wanted. So that worked out really well for us. Now, because of all his time, I think at this point we will be introducing judgment. Okay, we have another time dice. That's great. Another time and another time. Okay, we might not be introducing judgment to the game yet. He got 2 more time. That means he only has a 1 time advantage. And now he's finally placed something into our sword range, which wasn't smart in my opinion. So now our sword will take care of that, and we win the game. I mean the round. Okay. Let's see. I think he will start by putting something in here soon. So I have 2. He has 4 dice that I can't reach right now, right? I do not like that. So in this scenario, I can reach 3 dice with just 1, and it's a berserker dice, so I'll take that. Also, I want to help out here a little bit more. So let's add this, and we'll add... Yes, I thought so. I was like, there's no dice there. He can't reach that, so okay. That was a really good idea. Okay, perfect. Again, super good because I can clean up 3 dice with this dice, and it worked out for us. Putting that one here. It was unguarded. He will definitely guard this dice now, so I want to help him. But first, we place down our time. Okay, we place down more time, and now we help him with our sword. Now obviously this berserker dice will now straight away attack. Okay, he did not want to help out his dice. Now this is a wasted sword, which might lead to a loss now on the board. We'll see. Okay, perfect. Definitely not a loss. So, GG. He didn't do that well with his initial lead. That was, yeah, an easy reclaim of the pressure on the board. So I will be wrapping up here. I hope you guys learned something from the victories and from that defeat. And that's all. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something from that, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.